welcome to Last Week in Gaming. It's time for another one of these, and I am super pumped. Today is going to be a long one because, well, first, there's a lot of news, and second, I've heard longer is better when it comes to this show, so I am making a concerted effort here. There's no stopping this machine, and by that I mean my ability to drink coffee and have enough energy that I could fight a bear. Keyword could. I will not be doing that because bears are scary. Okay. And main stories. Sony is answering the prayers of PlayStation players with names like Nickelback, Fan for Life, and Pimpin' Popped Collar 420. Oh my god. That's right. Starting early next year though, PlayStation 4 owners can finally change their online ID, so please change those. Finally, this much requested feature, however, comes with some caveats. Oh no, here we go. Here's the lowdown on those caveats from the PlayStation blog. This feature is compatible with PlayStation 4 games originally published after April 1st, 2018, and a large majority of the most played PS4 games that were released before this date. However, please note, not all games and applications for PS4, PS3, and PS Vita systems are guaranteed to support the online ID change, and users may occasionally encounter issues or errors in certain games. Still, this is better than nothing, right? Considering a lot of people created their PSN names over a decade ago, possibly when they were like 10 years old. So yeah, they might want to change their IDs as adults, especially when it's Cyber Dinosaur 1234. Though I think that's still pretty rad. Speaking of Sony, this is truly going to shock you. The company has admitted that it's working on another gaming console. Sony boss Kenichiro Yoshida told the Financial Times, "At this point, what I can say is it's necessary to have a next generation hardware." Guys and gals, I cannot believe it. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that this thing is going to be called the PlayStation 5, which would just be so wild if true. So with this news, I propose this question. Will the PlayStation 5 be our final PlayStation console ever? It's been a heavy point of discussion that the last generation of consoles is already on the outs in favor of other screens like our mobile phones, i.e. Fortnite can run on a phone. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on this motherlode of a question. Are you down to see consoles die, or do you hope they'll stick around forever? Personally, I like less clutter, and if we can somehow get games to run on smart TVs and all you need is a controller, sign me up. Moving on to Microsoft, who might be continuing to make some major moves. As Kotaku reports, the company is close to acquiring Fallout New Vegas and Pillars of Eternity developer Obsidian Entertainment. That would be another first-party feather added to Xbox cap after a busy summer. If you don't remember, the House of Halo announced the additions of Playground Games, Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, and Compulsion back at E3. So Microsoft obviously seems keen on bolstering its first-party output, though it may be years before we see the fruits of this buyer spree, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully the fruit is delicious, like, you know, pineapple delicious. Anyway, I'm curious if Microsoft could make the Obsidian buyout official at the XO event next month. And will this be the only acquisition announcement? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's stick with Microsoft for like a minute longer, because the company has more up its sleeve. We talked about Google's Project Stream last episode, right? We'll say hello to the Xbox equivalent as Microsoft unveiled Project xCloud. X gonna give it to you. I'm sorry about that. I just had to. xCloud is all about giving you the ability to stream games to almost any device with a screen, whether that's a laptop, smartphone, or tablet, and public trials are planned to begin next year. Once again, it'll be intriguing to see how input latency and lag works while streaming huge games in the Halo, Gears, and Forza franchises, and once again, does this suggest consoles will soon be going bye-bye? I don't know. Fortnite, the game featuring a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Think that's how you do it? We'll be getting a special holiday retail copy. That's right, developer Epic has a new duos partner in Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, which will release Fortnite Deep Freeze Bundle at stores on November 13th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. It'll cost $30, coming with the pretty cool Frostbite outfit, Cold Front Glider, Chillax Pickaxe, Freezing Point Back Bling, and 1,000 V-Bucks to use in the game store. That's enough to purchase the Battle Pass, for instance, or, you know, another awesome emote like the Llama Bell. We always need more Llama Bell. It's just how the world works. So, turns out quite a few of you were indeed playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey last weekend, and most likely this week as well. I mean, the game is gigantic. How do I know you've been playing? Well, I haven't been stalking you like an assassin. No. I actually know because Ubisoft revealed Assassin's Creed Odyssey had the best launch week for this console generation of the franchise. So that means it probably didn't top Ezio's Adventures. That's okay, he's the GOAT. But Alexios and Cassandra were able to topple Unity, Syndicate, and Origins. I believe an applaud is in order. Nintendo Switch Online subscribers were probably surprised to find a souped-up version of The Legend of Zelda this week as part of their membership. It gives Link all of the stuff, including the White Sword and Magical Shield, which, on top of making the game obviously easier, also seems like a nice gesture to Link in general. I mean, this dude continually wakes up with nothing, but he's told he's got to basically save the world. Like, at least properly equip him before tasking him with that kind of an endeavor. And thankfully, Nintendo finally has. Now, for what I like to call quick mentions, stories that are cool and deserve a quick mention on Elwig. Stardew Valley, one of the most relaxing and lovely games ever about farming, will arrive on iOS mobile devices October 24th for just $8. As for Android users, you'll have to wait a bit longer, though there aren't any specifics. Regardless, I can't recommend this game enough, and I'm gonna play a ton of it on the planes that I fly all the time. I don't fly planes. Guardians of the Galaxy writer and director James Gunn, who was fired from the third installment of that franchise by Disney earlier this year, has found a new comic book movie home. Yes, he'll be jumping from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to DC with Suicide Squad 2. As The Wrap reports, he's writing that film with a strong possibility to direct it as well. Netflix's The Witcher series has cast a spell. Just cast the actresses for Ciri and Yennefer. The Hollywood Reporter says Freya Allan will be Ciri, with Anya Chalotra portraying Yennefer. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Now, obviously, the biggest question surrounding the show is who's gonna play Roach. Whatever horse it has some big horseshoes to fill. That is for sure. Last segment for the day, games that I'm looking forward to and that you should too. This is basically a segment I just made up and that recaps upcoming games we have and their release dates. The mentioned titles are all games I'm excited to play that aren't out yet and that you should be reminded of, because sometimes it's nice to be made aware of how big your video game backlog is. Right? All right, we have a big one out today, depending on when you're watching this. The multiplayer first-person shooter Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is out, it's live, it's alive with zombies and a fresh new battle royale mode that, who knows, might even rival Fortnite. Next up, while the full title isn't out until November 14th, Fallout 76's official beta begins in less than 2 weeks on the 23rd on Xbox One. PS4 and PC players have to wait until the 30th to get their version. To get your beta code, all you have to do is pre-order the game. So while some of you will be battling mutant enemies in West Virginia, others will no doubt be exploring a different kind of Wild West in Red Dead Redemption 2. The game is out on the 26th and I've already mentioned it a ton, so can I just get here already? Okay. Thanks. Then we have Battlefield 5, November 20th, it's Just Cause 4 coming out December 4th, Smash Bros. Ultimate December 7th, and Anthem February 22nd of 2019, which is a ways away. All right, I'm thinking this segment will serve as a nice reminder, maybe like once a month. I just felt like this was in order. We're coming up on the end of the year, 2018, and there are still loads of gaming to be had. Was there something I missed? Probably, but there are enough games to last literally 100 million lifetimes, so I think we're good. That's it for this week, everyone. If you liked this show, please show it with a sub, a like, or a comment. I'll be back next week with more awesome news, since I'm always up for that. All right, I'll catch you later, dudes. Bye.